Nebraska loses 26-9 against Illinois. I'll just start with this. This was a really fun game to watch, right up until it wasn't. I mean, if you watched my preview video, you knew that I really said that I didn't think that Nebraska had much of a chance in this game. I predicted Illinois to win 35-21. And up until Thompson went out of the game, Nebraska looked like they could play, and I guess I found that surprising. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, more people see the video, all that housekeeping stuff. Go buy a t-shirt. There you go. And it was so disappointing. I mean, it was so frustrating. The beginning of the game was really fun to watch. The offense looked like they could actually stay in the game, something I found surprising. The offensive line didn't look completely terrible, something else I found surprising. And the defense actually played, I think, throughout the game pretty well against a Illinois team that really is pretty good. They're pretty decent. Tommy DeVito was very efficient with the ball. I mean, we knew that going in. If you saw the preview video, you know, I talked about how he was 70% completion rate for the year, rarely threw any interceptions. I think he was 140% completion rate today. Really didn't get any pressure on him, and we really wouldn't have expected to. I thought we played Chase Brown better than I expected. I mean, put it this way. When your offense can only make one first down from whenever the second quarter injury was till the rest of the game, and your defense doesn't get completely smoke-showed run over, I think they're against a team like Illinois with Chase Brown, I think they're playing pretty well. So I think the defense did, for who they are and for how bad they've played at times this year, I think they played pretty well. Casey Thompson injury was, I mean, it was the game. You know, you could look out there and go, oh my God, don't we have anybody after that? And I think it's pretty clear that we don't. You could say, why didn't they put Long Smothers into the game instead of Chubba Purdy? Why didn't we see Heinrich Harburg? He's a really big guy and he throw the ball long. Maybe he could have just, Trey Palmer ran down the field and thrown the ball in the air and he could have ran under it and scored some touchdowns. Well, that didn't happen. There were a lot of little dumb things that happened in this game. Like, why didn't we decline the penalty right before Luke Reimer made that stupid play of hitting the guy out of bounds and giving him the first down? Why did we run on 3rd and 15 or whatever it was, conservative play call? Well, you saw why we did that later when we were in field goal range at least, and then Chubba Purdy throws a dumb interception, and we don't get any points off that drive whatsoever. Nebraska is not a very good football team. I think we know that, and every week we kind of talk ourselves back into hope, which I think may not be a bad thing because some of the teams we're still going to play, maybe we could get wins against, probably without Thompson. If he's hurt and out, I really don't think so. But you know, you look at Minnesota, they have bad days. Iowa doesn't have an offense. They had an offense against Northwestern because Northwestern's defense doesn't exist, and they're a completely terrible team. Wisconsin, you never know what you're going to get against Wisconsin. So there's still room to maybe get to 5-7 and get in a bowl game. Disappointing all around. Yeah, look at Mark Whipple's offense, and I think that again, I'm going to say this, sound like a stuck record. We have players. I mean, Trey Palmer is a magnificent player. Alante Brown showed that he had some speed and could get the ball and do stuff. Travis Vokalek. We have some players around. Anthony Grant. We have some players around to build a core if somebody wants to come in and coach. Have some players on defense. I don't know who they are. But they played well enough, I think, to just keep the team that couldn't do anything on offense into the game. Let's see, what else do I have? You know, defense, what was it, 20-9, 26, gave up 6 points in the second half. I'd say that's a fairly good performance by the defense against a team that should have ran over us and over us and over us. During the game, I got really mad because I get really I get really grouchy during the games when they're not fun. You know what I mean? And this was, like I said at the beginning, this was not a fun game after a while. It just really wasn't when Casey Thompson went out of the game. It became not fun. And I get really cranky during that. And during that, I tweeted something like, I got tired of Nebraska fans bitching about the fact that Long Smothers wasn't put in the game instead of Chubba Purdy. And I get cranky when everybody bitches about stuff, which is kind of funny because I bitch about stuff myself. But I tweeted out that I think this is proof that Mickey Joseph doesn't deserve the head coaching position, which I was poking our own fan base in the eye. So if you saw that on Twitter, that's why I did that. There's still a lot of this season to play out with the whole head coach thing. It's still a month away. We don't need to even argue about it right now. One more thing I'll say. Mark Whipple's offense. Does the guy ever use motion? Because I don't think he ever uses motion. I mean, motion can tell you a lot about what a defense is doing, and he never does this. He never motions anything. Remember, if you watch the preview video, I said something about running maybe some wide receiver screens, bubble screens, stuff like that. We didn't do that much. We had that one screenplay that was fantastic. We actually executed and scored with a screenplay, and that was nice, and it was well done. But you could have, there's so many more things I think that you could do to put these players in a position to be successful. But we weren't today. I don't know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Seems like the story that we've been going through for quite a while. Hopefully together. Whatever that means. God. Okay, I think that's about it. Really disappointing because, you know, it looked like a game that in the beginning we could have really played in and won. We could have stayed with Illinois and saw what happened at the end. But alas, no offensive line, no blocking, quarterback injured, game over. That's about it for me. I hope you guys are doing really well. Please subscribe, like I said earlier. Go Big Red.